talk about functional groups, okay? These are some of the ones you have to know about. R stands for a carbon chain. At times it could be a hydrogen as well, okay? So whenever I write this, it is because I don't want to say that this has 1 carbon or 2 carbons or 3 carbons or 5 carbons. It could have any amount of carbons, yes? I thought you already had a question. Scary. Okay, so if it has an OH, what is it called?
Alcohol.
An alcohol. That's very nice. Apparently you like drinking this stuff, so you know about it. Okay. That is called an alcohol. Examples of an alcohol. This, for example, alcohols end in O. So this should be called, this is a CH3, so the base name is methane, right? Or methyl. So you can call this methyl alcohol or methanol. Okay? The purpose is not to name them now, it's just so you can have a little taste. And this is your favorite alcohol, which is drinking alcohol, ethanol. If you drink methanol, which is wood alcohol, you are going to die.
What alcohol?
Methanol. Wood alcohol. Do you know what wood is? It's an animal. If you give this to your boyfriend, he will die. Okay? I can hook you up with some if you want. So, and the antidote, if you drink a glass of this, is 70% more ethanol. So, problem is if you go to the hospital and you said you drank 3 glasses of the stuff, now they got to give you 70% of ethanol. And if you take 70% of ethanol, what's going to happen to you? You're going to go into a coma anyway. So, I have a family member that died from drinking that stuff. He was killed by other people. Okay? So, it does happen, my friends. What happened? It was a girlfriend and I didn't teach her that. And if it has a nitrogen with hydrogens on it, whether it's 1 or 2 or no hydrogens on it, this is called
Amine.
an amine. Now tell me, what does that look like? This looks like it has an oxygen, and what is on this side?
Carbon.
A carbon.
And a carbon.
On this side, another carbon. This is called an ether. Diethyl ether used to be, was used back in the days to knock people out. Yes, so they can extract wisdom teeth and so on and so forth. Whenever they give you this for such a long time, you would be smelling this for 2-3 months afterwards. According to the old guy that told me he was smelling it for so long. So that's called an ether. And we can have one that looks like an alcohol, but instead of an oxygen, it has
A sulfur.
a sulfur, which is under the alcohol. So we can call this a thiol. Yeah, thiol. Can you pronounce that? That's right, take the tongue out. And this is called a sulfide. And that is called a disulfide. I think if you have hair, you have disulfide bonds in the hair, and your hair is curly, the disulfide bonds are in specific places. And when you perm it either with a chemical or with heat, what you are breaking is a disulfide bonds. So your hair now is straight because the bonds are not together. But what happens is they connect again and your hair gets curly again.
That's why you use sulfate-free shampoo.
That's why you use what?
Sulfate-free shampoo.
I'm sorry, I don't use sulfate-free shampoo.
I mean, I have straight hair, so I don't know. So I've heard from people.
But-
You're supposed to use sulfate-free if you have curly hair though.
Because you perm it and you don't want curly hair to come back.
No, I want my curly hair.
And then use sulfate infused shampoo.
So complicated being a woman, huh?
No,
That's why I chose to be a guy.
you have to exit out of the video.
Is this what you want us to do the flashcards for?
No, this is, you can do flashcards for this, yeah, that's fine. This, how is this gonna look on the test? On the test, I'm gonna give you something like this. And you tell me what the functional group of that is, okay? Or I give you something like this, and I ask you, what is it? Okay? Yes, this is an ether.
Ether.
Professor, are we going to go over chirality again? Chirality?
Yes, we are. Why, you have a question about that?
Not right now.
When are you gonna have the question? Yes, we are. We haven't finished that chapter. Then we have this, which is called a carbonyl. Guys, you pay close attention to this, okay? Mitch, do you have another pen? Apparently my secretary did not give me. Oh, snap. Okay, so this is called a carbonyl. No, we don't edit the video, okay, Sophia? Don't edit the video. I'm not gonna spend the time looking for the garbage I say. So, here it is. This is called a carbonyl. Carbon double bonded to an oxygen. This oxygen here has electron pairs. I expect everybody to know that those electron pairs are there. These are functional groups related to carbonyls. If you have on one side a carbon, and on the other side of the carbonyl you have a hydrogen. Mitch, is this the same pen, man?
Maybe it's a better.
This is called an aldehyde. Yeah, this is better. That's aldehyde. And this is the simplest of all aldehydes. And it is called the formaldehyde. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
What is it used for?
To preserve biological specimens.
Preserve dead things, yes? In other words, nothing lives in formaldehyde, yes? Yet when you smoke a cigarette or you drink a Coke, this is what it's formed inside of your body, my friends. And your liver got to deal with it. And by the way, if you drink methanol, it forms formaldehyde at one point. Not formaldehyde, formic acid. Okay, so that's that. You have a carbonyl with carbons on both sides. This is called a ketone. An example of a ketone is
An acetone.
You burn fat instead of,
when you burn fat.
yeah, when you're burning
An
as your
acetone.
source of metabolism,
Yeah.
you're like acetone, you're burning fat, you form ketone bodies.
Really?
Yeah. Which is why extreme diets are a good idea.
You're a vegetarian, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I know you're a vegetarian. You're wasting your life. You're All right. So this is acetone, okay? And this is, of course, related to girls. Once again, this is used to,
Yeah, they'll remove it.
not when you burn the fat. It is when you want to take your nail polish off, yes?
In most cases, not all cases.
In all cases, what? This is not the case in all cases?
Well, I mean, never mind. Never mind.
No, you're right. I'm going to show you. So we can have something like this, and this is called a carboxylic acid. And we have things like benzoic acid, which are these that are used as preservatives, or a derivative of this benzoic acid. This is benzoic acid, and if you were to take this hydrogen, by the way, benzoic acid, acidic or basic? Acidic, that's why it's called benzoic acid. And on top of that, it has this here, which is called a
Carboxylic.
carboxylic acid, yes? Carboxylic acid. So all carboxylic acids are acidic. If it releases that H+, this is why it's used as a preservative, because it will acidify and bacteria won't live in it. If it releases that, it will form this type of thing,
Negative.
which is resonance stabilized, which was on your test today. Yes? Wasn't that? Hopefully you got that one right. Okay? It's used as a preservative. That's called benzoic acid. If you read on your ketchup bottle, it will say sodium benzoate. It is a derivative of this. So that's what you're drinking every day. Now this is called an ester. That's a girl's name, isn't it?
Yeah. From the Scarlet.
Scarlet Letter.
Yeah, her name, the main character's name is Esther.
Scarlet's is a strip club, yes?
She's pretty scarlet now.
And maybe we're gonna delete that from this. All right, so this here is called the ethyl acetate. Okay, this here is called ethyl acetate. It is an example of what? Of an ester. And this ethyl acetate is non-acetone nail polish remover.
That's CH3C.
Excuse me?
CH3C. Or like is that with the, okay. That's the second.
Any more questions about ethyl acetate? Have you ever seen the IR spectrum of ethyl acetate? You've never seen it?
Like the graph,
Yeah, the graph thingy, yes.
with all the peaks and the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
We did it in 1046 lab. But
That was the
First lab, that was
Yeah,
like the spectrometry.
yes.
You all got 100s, right?
You all got 100s, and none of you remember that. Okay.
Is it the one that we circled the?
Yeah.
This is called an amide. The other one with a nitrogen and had a carbon here was called an amine. And this is called amide. Some people call it amide.
What would an ester be, or what would it be used for?
I just told you, non-acetone nail polish remover. That's what girls use it for. Guys use it for other things. Like for example, esters, they smell sweet.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Sweet, right?
Yeah. The sweetening fruits is coming from esters.
What about an ether?
What would you like to know about an ether? How it smells or how it tastes? What do you want?
What is it used for?
Inhale it. You pass out.
Are those like to make pegamentos?
No. This is to make crystal meth and pass out.
Is this like, you know, they don't kidnap you and they stick that cloth from the goes in your face?
No, that's chloroform. This guy knows.
It's the truth.
All right. This is called, well, let's not put an X here. Let's put an X here. The X stands for a halogen. This is called an acyl halide. And since we're talking about halogens, when you have this is called an alkyl halide or a halo alkane. Which one do you like better? Halo? We have things that look like this and they are peroxides. Peroxides, of course, the one you know is hydrogen peroxide. That has hydrogen on both sides.
Instead of the carbon chain?
Instead of the carbons, yeah. Hydrogen peroxide. Yes? Hydrogen peroxide. We have, this is called a benzene ring. And this is part of something called aromatics, which we're not going to have for a while, but you got to get used to that little picture. Okay? We have the ones with sp3 hybridized carbons, which are called alkanes. We have some that have double bonds, and these are called alkenes. And we have some with triple bonds. They could be an H2, which are called alkynes. Is that enough or you want some more? So what am I going to do on the test? On the test, I'm going to give you some of those, but not with the R, okay? They're going to have some groups on it, and you have to tell me what the functional group is, okay? How's that? Now, if we are doing constitutional isomers, we were doing last class constitutional isomers for things that had only carbons and hydrogens. They were constitutional isomers for alkanes. But if we have oxygens or any other group, we can also have constitutional isomers. Like for example that. You try to do constitutional isomers with that. And see how many you can come up with. What did we have today? C6H?
14. 14.
Try to do some constitutional isomers with that. See what you get.
13.
Or is that too many? It's too many of them, right?
2 6s are 12 and 13.
Don't you,
That's not the front of it. Yeah, don't erase that.
what do you mean don't erase it? What do you guys got on your fingers? Okay, why don't I do one, okay?
Good idea.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes or no?
Yes.
That would normally have how many hydrogens? 14. Instead of a hydrogen, I can put an oxygen. Now, if I put an oxygen, what happened to the number of hydrogens here? Did it increase by 1 or decrease by 1?
Increase.
Decrease by 1. So I put a hydrogen there. Yes? Did I make a mistake here? Is it supposed to be 14?
No,
Count.
no,
13,
because you just
replaced
decreased
the-
it.
You
Yeah.
replaced one
You
hydrogen with an
replaced it.
oxygen.
2 6s are 12 plus 2 plus 14.
Count the number of hydrogens.
13.
Don't imagine 13, count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
13. Because you're, what do you add an additional hydrogen to, or
I mean, there's
the last
definitely.
hydrogen?
I counted 20.
2, 4.
She counted 20 hydrogens.
I counted 13. I
I
counted
didn't say
13.
that, you're putting words in my mouth.
Oh, okay, good, but it was funny while it lasted.
Glad to find.
Okay, that's 3 hydrogens there. How many here?
2.
How many here? How many here? How many hydrogens is that in total?
Oh, no, why are you adding an extra one?
Because there's only 2 bonds there.
14, that's
Why is-
14.
Why is the O getting a hydrogen?
That's 14.
Why? You're asking me why?
There's
Because
one.
it's an alcohol.
14.
Because oxygen needs to have a full octet,
Okay, so
yes?
then
It
okay.
gets a hydrogen.
Okay.
How many hydrogens?
Now there's 14.
That's 14.
14 of them.
Apparently I had made a mistake, yes?
Yes.
So it's 14. So that is an alcohol. Yes or no? Now this number here has a meaning, okay? And you will see this next class when I talk about index of hydrogen deficiency, okay? It is what is going to tell us whether there is a double bond in there or not. What else can we draw? Can we draw something like this?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I put the OH here. Yes? Well, I can write it again.
Put it in your
And
third one.
can I put it here?
Yeah.
And if I write it again, and I put it here, is that a new one?
Same one.
No, it's the same one. 1, 2,
That's
3,
right, this
third
is not a
carbon.
new one. This is on what carbon? 1,
Third
2, 3.
carbon.
This is on the third carbon, which is the same thing as this. So this is not a new one,
You
okay?
can put on the ends. 2 on the ends.
Some put on the side. Yeah, they
Why
have
you
to
couldn't
have
you do
dye.
that one?
Both,
And then make
both
it
on
the
the
same
end.
one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 on the ends.
Have to make it shorter.
Can we what?
So 1, 2.
Put one at the end? There is the one at the end here.
No, say 2 at the end. No.
2 what? 2 OHs? There's only one.
No.
So what we do is now we shorten the length of the chain. 1,
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the second carbon, we'll put a hydrogen. I mean CH3. Yes?
Yeah.
And now you put the OH somewhere. Yes? Where do you want to put the OH?
Middle.
Middle.
Why do you start in the middle? You can put it here. I mean, we got to be consistent where we start. I teach you here, you put it on the second, yes? Here you put it in the middle. That's different from this. Still at the end. Where can I put the OH now?
Middle.
In the middle of what? Here?
No, no.
Here?
Right there.
Okay, yeah, I can put it here. Okay. Where else can I put it? I bet some of you did not write this down.
No.
Good.
3/4.
Ask for a bigger board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I put it here? Is that okay?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, I mean, if you look at it, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. There's 3 hydrogens here, 2 there, that's 5. And 2 here, 7. And math gets complicated now. Plus 3,
10,
plus 3,
13.
plus 1, 14. Okay, that could be 1. This is 1. What else can we do? Can we put 1 here?
Yeah.
Is that one of the ones from before?
I think so.
No.
No,
No.
no, it's not.
We can.
Yeah, that's a new one.
That's a new one?
Yeah.
That's a new one, okay? The methyl group and the OH are on different groups. What else? Is that a new one?
Can you do a one with a dimethyl?
Does it matter where the OH is at the end or no?
You mean pointing up or pointing down?
Or when putting it on the first or the third? Or the...
As long as it's on the first carbon, they're all the
No,
same.
it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. That's different.
Yeah, that's
That's a new one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's different. So what we did is we shortened the length, put 1 methyl here, and then we started moving the OH all throughout the place. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay?
Can you do one with a dimethyl?
Dimethyl,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
4,
4.
and then do it 1 with the OH and then 1 with, yeah.
Like this?
And then add the OH to another carbon.
Sure. How many carbons are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, are you anxious? You want to go home already?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just add OH, go on at whatever available carbon.
Stop the recording.